Hey guys, MC here. Let's talk about The Mandalorian. Spoilers ahead. This is just for episode 1 because that's all that's out right now. So, the Disney Plus app dropped last night at varying times depending on where you were. For me, I was able to get access to it around 1 o'clock in the morning on Apple TV, and of course, immediately signed up because in Canada we weren't able to pre-order. We had to sign up on the day. But I signed up and got access to Disney Plus and was immediately overwhelmed by all of the stuff that was there. But I had one mission. First of course, I had to watch The Mandalorian. So, put on episode 1. There will be spoilers for this episode in this review. And the first thing I gotta say is, I have no idea what's happening. Seriously, I do not understand the show at all, but I'm so fucking excited for it. The Mandalorian as a character, I have to be honest, when I first heard about this show, I wasn't like super jazzed about it. The only Mandalorian I really care about is Sabine Wren. So, I mean, the idea of a Mandalorian bounty hunter, I'm like, oh god, that sounds really familiar, and he's really, I don't really care for Boba Fett all that much. He's really hyped up way too much, so I wasn't really looking forward to this idea of an XP of him. But I think they've done a pretty good job with the Mandalorian with no name. I think Pedro Pascal's character does have some of the earmarks of the Boba Fett character, such as, the carbon freezing and, being a bounty hunter, but I am already getting distinct differences from Boba Fett with his particular moral code. He does seem to be a very noble guy. He just happens to be a bounty hunter. And I'm interested in knowing more about him. Certainly, this was just the opening salvo. We will get more about what he's all about. He might even get a name eventually. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Fennec Shand said that his name will be legendary, so that would mean that we'll probably get his name at some point. But I enjoyed this. I thought Taika Waititi as IG-11 was really good. I liked that. I liked seeing all of these previous species from Star Wars turning up. The Kowalkian lizard monkey being roasted was incredibly disturbing for me. Like, I hated Salacious B. Crumb, but seeing, like, the lizard monkey being roasted on a spit was just, like, for a second there, I was like, oh god, I'm going vegan. Like, I can't deal with this. And having Nick Nolte playing a freaking Ugnaught, I was so, like, not expecting that my brain, like, was not working, and I'm just like, that's a freaking Ugnaught. Like, what? But probably the biggest thing that I was not expecting, that nobody was expecting, was the end. What the actual bounty is. And that's, talking about Baby Yoda. I'm just going to call him Baby Yoda because we don't know the name of Yoda's species, so Yoda's species is Yoda. But the Baby Yoda, first of all, was one of the most adorable things I've ever seen. I don't know if there's been a more adorable spoiler ever. It's a little 50-year-old baby. Just, like, look at it. I am very curious as to what the story is behind this bounty, which is obviously going to be a driving force in this show. We're going to find out exactly why there's a bounty on this particular baby, and I suspect that the Mandalorian is going to make it his personal mission to protect this baby, because that seems to be a thing with him, that he, as an orphan, is not somebody who is going to harm a child and will actually take it upon himself to look after the baby no matter what. So that's interesting. That's a very Western thing to do. I like that. I find it interesting that there's been a bounty on this baby for 50 years. So that takes us back to like around, let's see. Yeah, we're talking around Phantom Menace time. So as soon as I heard that this bounty has been around for 50 years, I'm like, oh, we're going to get into some Jedi shit. And definitely, I think you can't drop something like a member of Yoda's species without involving the Jedi. Because the only two members of Yoda's species we've seen have been not only just Jedi, but Jedi Masters. I was joking on a Discord I'm a part of that this kid is Yoda and Yaddle's secret love child, which will then grow up and become Rey's mother, obviously. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Westerns, but I like Westerns that aren't Westerns, if that makes any sense. A good space Western is, I can get into that. So, I am enjoying this. I'm looking forward to seeing where they go. I think that that Filoni and Favreau have a really good handle on Star Wars. And I think that this will be something that we have not seen before, but more something we haven't seen before than like Rogue One or Solo, because yes, those were not saga movies, but they still kind of kept in the same realm. I've said for years I would love for them to do like a prequel political thriller starring Bail Organa or Leia as a kid. And I think that this is Star Wars really kind of exploring the doing something other than what Star Wars usually does. And I'm here for that. I am interested in exploring this world to its fullest extent. The show looks amazing. I think it fits totally in with the other live action stuff. Like as much as I would have liked them to have done a live action series before now, I think this is the right way for them to do it. They have the full backing of Disney behind them in this, so they're pouring a lot of money into these episodes. And doing it on streaming, they can make the episodes as long as they need to be. Usually with that kind of thing, it means being, like, let's do an hour and 5 minutes or whatever. But obviously for The Mandalorian, people might have found that this episode was too short for them. I think it was 39 minutes long. And I was shocked that when I was watching it, I was like, oh, the episode's over. Like, really? How long has it been? I actually had no idea how long it had been. And I think that's because the episode was as long as it needed to be. And that is completely fine. You don't need to jam more stuff in there than you need to tell your story just to meet a runtime. And so I appreciated that they didn't throw in some stupid scene of, oh no, the Mandalorian talking to some random person at a bar just to be like, I always get my bounty. And things are going to be explained, but we're explaining this right now because we need to pad out the episode. A couple of small things about this episode. I liked the mention of Life Day. I think, is that the first actual canonical reference to Life Day? Because obviously, like, Life Day was in the holiday special and was probably referenced in some of the EU books, but I don't think Life Day has been, like, out and out canonized in the current canon. And I like that Life Day is a thing. I like that actually, while Lucasfilm has not said that the holiday special actually happened, they kind of play around with the idea that it did. because now we've got a lot reference to Life Day. Chewie's family is canon, and even B. Arthur's character is canon. She's the night bartender at Chalmun's Cantina. So slowly we're getting references to everything in the holiday special, including Boba Fett's staff from the holiday special, which, yeah, let's do that. So, I don't know when we're going to do a review of Mandalorian over on Trash Compactor, because certainly we've got a lot of stuff that we're reviewing right now. Actually, tomorrow, Sarah and I are going to be reviewing Resistance Reborn, because we haven't had a chance to do that yet. So maybe we'll review the first episode of Mandalorian. It depends on whether or not she's seen it. She probably has. But if she hasn't, then it'll take a little bit longer. And we got a new episode coming on Friday. But since I've got my nice captive audience with doing my videos, and a platform which I call MCCs, but I rarely update anymore because I don't really go to a lot of first-run movies anymore, that this is at least a place that I can talk about The Mandalorian right up to date. So yeah, looking forward to more Mandalorian. Looking forward to some more cute Baby Yoda. And I guess I'll see you guys on Friday for the review of episode 2.